Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Kent Hauer. I'll be your professor for FTT 221, Sites, Optics, and Accuracy here at SDI. Just wanted to jump on here real quick, give you guys a little video intro and video guidance, just covering the course itself. So I'm going to post this video in every place I can in the course so that you guys can grab it. But predominantly, this covers the whole course. This isn't about a specific week or whatever like that. First thing I want to do is I just want to introduce myself. My name is Kent Hauer. I run a company called Green Mountain Defense here in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. We specialize in firearms training for civilians, law enforcement, and military. My background is not that of LE or MIL. I'm just a civilian shooter dude. Happens to be very, very, very good with a pistol. That's my background. That's who I am from the firearms training state. And we teach pistol, we teach rifle, we teach shotgun. I've been fortunate to train with a whole bunch of really high-end firearms training companies, gotten some pretty cool certificates, had some great experiences. If you're interested in learning more about that for whatever reason, go to www.greenmountaindefense.com and look at my instructor bio if you want to know about that side of my life. It's a pretty cool part of what it is that I do, and it obviously is going to inform a lot of what I bring to SDI. That's the only reason I mention it. I also run a podcast called the Sling and Lead Podcast with my friend and business partner, TJ Ramsey, where we delve into firearms-related topics, gear stuff, shooting stuff. It's predominantly focused on training, but there's some other interesting content there as well. So that is the Sling and Lead Podcast. Being that I'm in the firearms industry, I went through this program myself, the SDI Associates Firearms Tech program. So I've got the same degree that you guys are in the process of obtaining right now. So I only tell you that to tell you this: I've been through this before, right? What it is that you're going through, I've been through before. It's something that I've done myself. No problem talking to you about it, talking to you about your coursework, talking about what you've been through. I know this from both the professor and the student side. So get no problem, helping you guys figure that out. I would encourage you, please, to do a couple of things throughout the course of your time here at SDI, specifically with me. I can really only influence what you do with me, but this stuff will benefit you in every class you take. So stick with me. It's going to be just kind of a laundry list of stuff I wish students would do, and a couple of things I wish students wouldn't do. So for one thing, guys, please, read those prompts, top to bottom, left to right, front to back. Read them again, then read them again, then respond to them. I can't tell you how many times I've been grading somebody's paper or listening to somebody's video submission or audio submission. P.S. I love video and audio submissions. Hint, right? But you want to write a paper, that's great. Write a paper. Write a collegiate level paper. A collegiate level paper means a couple of things. Number one, if there's 5 prompts and you only responded to 4 of them, the best grade that you can hope for is an 80%. Make sense? You didn't do 1/5 of the work, you don't get 1/5 of the credit. That's how that works. So make sure you read the whole prompt. I can't tell you how many times I've been reading somebody's paper, rocking awesome, did a great job with this, did a great job with that, did a great job with this, son of a gun, they did not reply to the 5th prompt. Well, that person gets an 80. It's unfortunate, and that's if they did everything else right. That's unfortunate, but it does happen. So please make sure you read and understand the written prompts entirely. That's number one. Number two, participate in those discussion boards. It's easy points, and it's a very, 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 very important keynote with regard to helping me determine what you do and don't understand from that week. I can't help you if I don't know what you may or may not be getting. So please hit us up on those discussion posts. You're asked to do 1 big post and then 2 replies to your fellow classmates. In this course, there's 2 weeks where you're being asked to do 3 replies to fellow classmates. So watch for that. Again, read the prompts. Make sure you get those in there. Do those early in the week, guys. Don't be last-minute Lucy's trying to get folks to reply to all your stuff at the very last millisecond. Don't expect somebody to reply to something that you wrote At least not for credit anyway, Sunday at midnight. It just doesn't make any sense. So get that stuff in early. Do those replies. Take advantage of your resources. Use Grammarly. Grammarly is your friend. I'm not the world's spelliest speller that ever did spell, but I'll tell you this much. If I'm reading your paper and I have to run it through Grammarly just to make sense of it, I am going to dock you points for that. I should be able to read a paper out loud and have it make sense to me. So please use Grammarly to your own benefit. Excuse my woofing dogs. Yes, we know. Woof. It's all they ever contribute. All they ever say is woof. All right. Yeah, we get it, Katie. Thank you. They don't say anything else. They don't say, hello, good morning, how are you? They just woof a lot. So, make sure you use that Grammarly. Don't shy away from Grammarly. Use it. It will help you. It is your friend, I assure you. Don't submit stuff that's all jacked up from the perspective of spelling and grammar and punctuation and correctness, okay? Cite your sources. Cite your sources. Cite your sources. Cite your sources. Holy smokes. Every single thing that you do for these 8 weeks should have some cited source. Every single thing that you do for these 8 weeks should have some cited source. Don't just throw some stuff at me, have it be almost or all pretty much exactly out of the text, and then not cite this text as a source. That's not cool. That is, in fact, plagiarism. So don't do that. Certainly don't go elsewhere outside coursework and, plagiarize. Please. It's not worth it. Don't do it. Right? Cite those sources. Use Chicago formatting. If you don't know what Chicago formatting is, hit me up. I'll give you a template. Not that hard to do. Please, please, please cite those sources. Check to make sure those assignments are submitted, not in draft status. The way our grading program works, I don't know that you submitted a draft unless I go manually digging for drafts. Okay? I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. If there's something in there at the end of the week and it's in draft status and I find it, I'll grade it. And if it really is a draft and if it ain't perfect, at least you'll get points versus no points. And, I'm trying to do you a favor by doing that. At the same time, I don't know when you do that by the grading software. As a result, stuff can get missed. So please, 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 please make sure the things are in final status and they're submitted before you walk away from them, okay? Whatever they may be. For the portfolio project at the end, it is an amalgamation of all the things that you did over the course of 8 weeks, okay? It's a portfolio level project. It would really benefit you right now to go all the way out. You like those sound effects? It was pretty legit. Look at the 8-week portfolio assignment and then build week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, etc., moving on in such a manner as to assist you in that final 8 weeks. If you've done this right, your week 8 assignment is essentially a conglomeration of 1 through 7 with a little bit of spice added to it. Not too hard to do, right? Pay attention to stuff like that. See what else can help you. In the text, first of all, grab and download all those textbooks, PDF forms. Use the search feature in the text. When you're looking at a quiz or a test question, or you're looking at a prompt and you're like, oh, you doing the old Scooby-Doo thing? Control F or Command F, depending on Mac or PC, and type in, parallax. We're going to ask you here in a little bit to define parallax. What is parallax? Well, it's a villain in DC comic books. One student told me. I don't know if that's true or not. Not a comic book guy. But I'll tell you what parallax is for sure. It is in the text. So if you want to know what it is, Command F, Control F, type in the word parallax. Look at all that. There's a whole bunch of info on parallax. Hint, hint, hint. The questions you're being asked can be answered through that information, I assure you. Make sense? Let's see, what else? This whole 8 weeks is predicated upon the idea that the lady brings you her Remington rifle. She plans to go antelope hunting. She needs to make 500-yard hits. 500 is no joke. I don't care who you are or what gun you're shooting. Talk all the trash you want. Show me your targets, right? Like, that's not easy work to do. So this lady has pretty high expectations of her gun, and there's a couple things that may or may not be apparent. The one thing that might be apparent is perhaps, maybe, just maybe, we might have a software as opposed to a hardware issue. Don't be afraid to delve into that stuff. As a firearms instructor, I really like it when people say things like, hey, maybe you should go get some professional training. There's a good idea. But also, it's customer driven. This is meant to be customer driven. The idea here is actually that you're being, you're being approached by a customer. So write your communications in your papers and your final project and stuff like that from the perspective of somebody who is talking to a customer, not me, a customer. Don't go using big fancy $11 vocabulary and start talking about the Coriolis effect and as it relates to the reticle in your scope and the zoomometer 5000. This lady's a customer. She's coming to you. Explain to her, ma'am, this is what may or may not be going on with your rifle. This is how we have to approach it. This is what I would recommend doing. This is what it might cost you. These are your options. And oh, by the way, you might want to consider professional training. Something like that would be a real good response. But talk to her as though she is a person because, well, she is. Don't just regurgitate the info that's already in the course text. I know it's in the course text. I can read too, but mostly I can sort of read. But man, come on, jump in there. Explain it to her. Use analogies. Relate the known to the unknown. One of the things I tell my assistant instructors in my company all the time is we are in the business of relating what we know to those who don't. In other words, we have to relate the known to the unknown. We have to use analogies. We have to reach them where they are on their level of understanding. Okay? Try that. More than anything else, please, 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 please use me as a resource. They're paying me. Make me do the work. Okay? Kent.Howard@sdi.edu. I'd be more than happy to do a couple of different things with you guys that you may or may not have experienced. Number one is these kind of videos that I'm going to start doing for you dudes and dudettes. This is not something that we have to do as part of our thing for SDI. It's something I want to do because I think it's going to make the course better for you. Number two, something I'm willing to do for you guys and gals is I am absolutely willing to jump on video calls, audio calls, Zoom, Skypes, smoke signals, carrier pigeons. I don't care. Let's get with each other so that we can help each other. I'm more than happy to help you. As a matter of fact, the minute you look at something and the minute you look crossways at it and go, man, I don't know about that, hit me up, ask me, okay? I'm an open book. I'll be happy to help you. It's what we do after all. So please reach out. Let me help. More than anything, have fun, learn something, express what you've learned, and put metrics on what it is you're giving us, okay? Bye for now. Appreciate you paying attention.